things that I always, whenever I have to approach someone that's looking like we're gonna have to take them out, is one of the things I first want to do, well, actually, to take it a step back, one of the things I always advocate when I'm trying to work with a door staff is I always advocate we never enter a confrontation between two people just by yourself. You always want to have at least 2 or 3 other people. You'd rather, if possible, you'd like to have more of you than them. But I always like to have a guy come up and cause the attention and have somebody come up from behind, right? But one of the things I want to do first, before anything, is I like to try and determine if they're right-handed or left-handed, right? Because if they're right-handed or left-handed determines, I try to kind of predict which way something's going to happen, or which strike they're going to throw, or if they're having a weapon, which pocket it's going to be in, before anything gets that far. So the 2 things I always look for left-handedness is look for their watch, see what side the watch is on. A lot of people wear watches when they go out. And also, when you're coming up behind, see what side their wallet's on. It's important to know that because if a person's right-handed, if they're having a knife, it's going to be in their right side most likely. So if I'm dealing with somebody with a partner, I'll come up with my prayer stance where I'm talking with my hands up, because another thing, I never want to come into range of a person with my hands down. Because even here, if Shihan made a move now for me, there's no way I'm coming up to block that or going to be able to get out of the way, right? So my hands, once I'm in range, my hands have to already be up. But you don't want to approach someone like this. You know, this is a very aggressive stance. You want to have a passive, de-escalating stance. So what I like to do is what's called prayer hands, right? And I'm not going to walk up like Buddha, but my hands are up. And I'm from Jersey, so we talk with our hands all the time, so I can do this and get away with it. I can kind of pull this off a little bit. But you know, you want to try and kind of mimic that a little bit. And what this does is it gives me my hands up already before anything happens in a non-threatening manner. And it also allows me to take the inside position, because say Shihan's I just broke him up, somebody just messed with his girlfriend, he's a little pumped, right? Yeah, look at this man, look at him. Right? And I'm like, he's pulling he's popping, what's it called?
Popping collars.
He's popping collars, right? So, and I'm like, bro, man, yo, chill, bro. You know, hey, you know what's going on? And what this is doing is giving me the inside position. So if he brings his hands up, I'm inside already, right? And I'm here for my comb and covers already, right? So I'm like, bro, you know, chill. And if I'm alone, I identify if he's lefty or righty. If I can't tell, I just assume he's righty, because most people are. And what I'm gonna do is I'm going to approach him onto his right side, his power side. So I always go to his power side, because if I'm across his power side, if he wants to throw a haymaker, it's most likely going to be his power side, and it's coming from that side. So I'd rather come this way, and if anybody's right-handed and you try to throw a crazy sudden punch with your left hand, you know you're not going to hit shit. It's going to be very difficult, right? So what I like to do is, and another advantage that you have in the club, it's usually loud, so I get the advantage of being able to get in close in a non-threatening way, because the guy knows I want to talk to him. It's like, hey, buddy, you know, what's going on? You know, I'm talking over the music. We're like this a lot of times. If you're in clubs a lot, you know that you talk like this, so you got to get in close, right? Hey, you know, take it easy, right? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this hand and I'm going to slip it onto his hip right here. And I want to get inside. And so once I'm here, we're good. Nothing bad's going to happen now, right? And I'm like, hey, you know, you guys got to chill out. You got to take it easy, man. You know, like it's, you know, or you have to leave or whatever. Because now, if the guy doesn't like what I'm saying, and he tries to square up and get all huffy, I'm already here. And I can slide to here and get my position. And this is my position that I like to take people out. I like to control the back wrist, and I'm basically in the headlock position, side clinch. Right? Right, one more time. I'm like, hey buddy, you know, it's cool, you know, everything's fine. We gotta get you out. I'm sorry, you gotta go. And you're like, no, I ain't going anywhere. And it's like, boom, here I am, right? This arm is over that arm. So no matter what happens with that one, I'm sliding down and I'm controlling the wrist and I'm here. Right, now I'm taking my position. I'm a tall guy. I've picked up guys and carried them out like this, right? But this is basically the headlock position too. If I need to get behind this guy, it's over. I have double wrist control, and you bend them over, you walk them out. It's pretty key. That's all in fundamentals curriculum, by the way. So let's see. If that's a bad situation, because I'm approaching a guy one-on-one, and it's never optimal. If I have a guy that is going to approach for me and distract him, I'm going to come around, I'm going to come up behind the guy, and if he has to go out, we're going to walk him out with what I call the sleepy rear naked, right? And I call it the sleepy rear naked, because I'm not gonna put him completely out. I'm just gonna put him like half out, so he kind of just fumbles back, right? So when we do this, and of course this is all after it's been clearly determined that the guy has to go, right? So I'm gonna come up behind the guy. He's being distracted by my partner who's doing everything I just did, right? I'm gonna come up, 3 things. I'm gonna hit around the neck, hit the low back, hit the knee, all at the same time, right? A lot of things what I look for too is like if the guy is ready to go or not. If you see how Shihan's got one leg forward, he's a little ready to go. If he was more squared up, I would tell he's one step away from making a bad decision yet. But once he puts a leg back or he steps up, that's when you know they're ready to go. You got to do something, right? So I'm here. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, all at the same time, right? And I lock up the rear naked, right? And I'm going to choke him, but not put him out, just a little bit. But look, it's very key that you see how I have his shoulders over his heels, but his hip is bent forward. If I stay too upright, he just brings his hips back in and he gets strong base and he starts fighting me, and now this turns into a bad situation. Right? What I'm going to do is come up, 1, 2, 3, bang, and I drop him down. Not enough. See, he's just hanging on, and now I can walk him, right? Because he's falling back, right? I don't want to put him out because I don't want to deal with just a limp body I have to drag out now, right? I'd rather him walk out on his own. If at any time it starts getting too bad, I can just cinch it and put him out, right? Again, 1, 2, 3, all at the same time, right? Down and down. I put him down so he can't get his hips back under his shoulders. When he does, I'm just walking him back, and I can just walk around like this forever. Right? Good choice. Right? Yeah. Good stuff. Yeah. So the side clinch for our self-defense system here at Fargo BJJ, our entire self-defense system that we learn in fundamentals is based around the side clinch position. So everything is from here. This whole thing, right? Anytime I'm getting grabbed, gripped, wrestled, attempted abduction, I'm going to the side clinch because that's where I'm working. Especially if I originally got started on this topic today because a couple of people asked me about working in the clubs specifically, and I don't want to take people down in the club. Not because I don't feel like I couldn't control them, but because usually there's multiple things happening simultaneously, and I don't want to get too bogged down with one person on the ground when other things are going on around me. And also, if I put someone down, if he goes unconscious, say I choke someone out and they go down, now I'm responsible for that guy, and I have to drag him out. And one thing that people don't consider too is like, look, are we good? One thing I've always made sure that I made was perfectly clear. Like if I have Shihan in like a position and like I have to put him half unconscious, like he could have been fighting other people, and now that I'm holding him or maybe restraining him in some manner, I have to protect him too. Not only do I have to drag him out, but I have to protect him from getting hit by other people, because like there may be somebody else coming after him still, right? And like if he's half unconscious, I can't just throw him down and let him just get gorilla stomped on the ground all of a sudden. You know, I have to make sure that he stays safe, and I drag him out until I throw him out on the sidewalk into the fire hydrant, right? But you know, that's one thing too. I can't choke a guy half unconscious and hold him there while people are teeing off on him, right? And so if I'm going to take a guy down, everything's going to be side clinch. Like if I'm from here, I'm from here. Right, everything is still going to be. If I'm up tall, I'm going to do my rear sweep. Bang. Come up with me on belly. Tell him to quit fucking around. Or that's always the answer. Low back clinch too. I'm here, right? If he tries to square into me, right, I'm going to come in and put him down, right? And I'll just take whatever I take. Right, and remember, we're talking about a scenario where I have to stay vigilant to what's happening. So if I come down to here, I'm going to come down. I'm going to stay right here, and I'm going to make sure that everything's cool. And I'm going to tell this guy, like, you know, we're going to get up, and you're going to fucking leave. and that's going to be it, or you're going back down again, you know. But I have to make sure that my boys are okay. You know, everything that's happening around me is cool. So, side clinch, always side clinch. Rear sweep, low back clinch, LBC. I like to tell everybody, when you're in the real world doing real shit, it's like your best 15-20% of what you know. That's it, everything else out the window, right? The basics. What else?